Hey everybody, welcome to the Brobarian channel. I want to say hello. It's ready for a great Steeler day. That's what I'm hoping for. But first, I want to start this off. God, family, country, and Pittsburgh sports, and in particular, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so today we got a game of possibly a lot of fireworks, hopefully from our team, right? We're going up against the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers' old team. I'm sure they know each other very well. However, I don't want to even think about that right now. What I'm thinking about is how Jordan Love, this quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, going to go against, or how well he's going to do against our defense. Now, let me get this straight. Let me get this right. The last game we played against a quarterback who really knows how the NFL works when it comes to plays. Even if you don't know the playbook that well, he was able to dink and dunk us pretty well and make it so that we had a hard time stopping those receivers. They had some pretty good plays, pretty good hand catching. They had pretty good everything. And our defense was successful to a lot of receivers not getting open long balls, but a lot of it just getting open in space, finding ways to get open up the middle, to the sidelines, a lot of stuff. But the biggest thing I noticed with that last game, these guys are getting open in small spaces between our defensive scheme. Now, I ain't gonna say between the defensive team. Oh, man, I ain't even talking right. I'm tripping about this. The biggest thing is they saw holes in our defense and they was able to use that to create plays. That worked for them very well. Now, what do we got with Green Bay? Their offense to me is very strange. I mean, a lot of it's like a flashlight. If you turn on a flashlight, it goes forward, kind of like what we used to have with Big Ben. But their receivers don't try to burn you. What they do is a lot of turn around and catch ball, right? You'll see here on third. Well, I'm actually going to start this from the beginning. Okay, let me set this up correct. They do a lot of run and turn and catch, kind of like what Cincinnati was doing with their tall receivers. These guys, this Green Bay Packers team, do that with their smaller receivers. You're going to get it. We're going to see a heavy dose of Dobbs, Wicks, Golden, and it's going to be like a kind of like a how can I put this? They're doing it in a certain sequence. You'll see Dobbs, then you see Wicks, and then you see Golden, and then what you're going to see in the red zone for the touchdown is either Kraft or Dobbs. Sometimes you might see Musgrave, but definitely Kraft and Dobbs, and you might see Musgrave here and there. And you got the possibility of seeing Wicks. Okay, on the sidelines, you're going to see a lot of Reed, Dobbs, Reed, and Heath. Okay, that's number 18. Now, let me show it to you. It's better than I can. You should see this instead of me just talking about it. So, the first play of the game against Detroit, very good defensive team. Oh, look at that. That's Dobbs. Okay. Their receivers just turn, they take off, turn around, and wait and get the ball. And I could pretty much go through this whole deal. You guys see what I'm talking about. Their offense is predicated on that. And if you notice on third and six, a lot of times that's going to be either Golden or Dobbs. Those are two guys that I see on third down, and definitely Tucker Craft, especially when it gets closer to the red zone. And look at that, right in the end zone, right there. We see um, that looks like Kraft. I think number 85. Is that it? It doesn't say, but I think that's who that is. If you look again, this is going against Detroit, like always. Same concepts. They got a heavy dose of certain players. Now, as the game goes on through the field, you'll see them doing the same thing. This is against the Commanders. Small guy that looks like it could be 13. I think that could be. I think that's Wicks. There's there's another tight end play. This tight end is just taking off. That's Tucker Craft for sure. But you're going to see a big dose of these guys. And it was so crazy that we had to worry about really two wide receivers with the last team and their little guy. I forgot the guy's name, Izzo Salviaga or something like that, some strange name. But who cares what his name is? The thing is, he was effective against us. And then look at that, number 87, Dobbs in the red zone, in the end zone. You're going to see a lot of that. And their goal is to do the same thing every time. He has favorites he goes to in certain situations. And on third down, I noticed it's definitely Dobbs. It's definitely Kraft on third down. And a lot of, and I would say some Reed too. But the biggest thing is when you see the red zone, we should be able to have a defense that's going up against that. This is against the Browns. Now, what's so special about this team right here? What they did against Cleveland was not too much. They didn't really score a whole lot of points. But what Cleveland did, look at that. Run, turn, catch. That's their biggest thing that they do. They don't take off on you. And they're really good at that. So we got to be really good on defense to go against that. And I do wonder how well we're going to do and how well we are prepared for that. Now, what's really special about this game right here against Cleveland, Cleveland had 5 sacks in the sky. And that 5 sacks made it so their timing, their combination to open up the lock, if you will, was Dobbs, Wicks, and Golden, and every once in a while Reed, didn't work as well because they were just all over, doing their best to make it so that quarterback is not comfortable. And I'm hoping we do the same thing. But the combination you first going to see will be Dobbs, Wicks, and Golden. And then as the game goes on, that to make it all keep the flow going that they have, it's going to be Reed, Dobbs, and Reed. And in red zone, like I said before, it's going to be Kraft, Dobbs, every so often Musgrave, Heath, and Wicks. Right? So the defense has to be on top of a bunch of moving guys. Look at that. They got 2 guys in the same area and they still caught the ball. That's hard to watch. But against our team, I can't wait to see how well we stay on point, don't panic, and try to get a bunch of interceptions. That's what I think is possible today. I can see that. But we got to be on point. And the running game, I don't even have to even talk about. We need to have that running game on point too. They got a running game as well. We got to make sure that we watch this game with good positivity so they can feel it and do well in this game. And that sounds crazy, but you know what? I love positivity. I want our Steelers to do well. And as you see, that dude can run too if he needs to. But the biggest thing is they have a combination for them to get down that field. And it's those small receivers, and it's the same ones almost every time. I'm going to say this again. Dobbs, Wicks, and Golden. They have to be taken care of so they can have a better chance of managing this darn football game. All right. So that's pretty much all I got. I hope you guys got a good time or had a good time to listen to me talk about this. I really like this game. I really think we can do well. And I really want us to do well. Okay. And I love our new uniforms. That should not even be said, but those uniforms can be freaking awesome. But if we lose a game, we won't even care about it as much. We just say, oh, wow, they look great losing the game. I want them to freaking have these beautiful uniforms, but freaking do something with it. And with Rodgers being on that team before, I'm hoping he can take advantage of what he knows of that organization and what they're probably going to do against him, So that's pretty much all I got. Y'all take care. God bless y'all. And thank you once again for listening. And once again, God bless y'all.